Hey, it's great to see you all tonight. Are you excited about this coming week? Something going on we've heard about in the news a little bit?
Excited wouldn't be a word I would use.
I don't think so. The state of the nation is stressed, I think.
Yes.
And if you listen to either political party, they'll tell you not only is it stressed, but if the other guys win, it's going to be messed up. So I am here as your pastor to tell you to vote for. Now there's the king we need, right? Of course, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I will tell you to vote, though. And, God bless your decision, your wisdom, as you pick the best candidates. I'm here to tell you, as your pastor, that we have some great good news to celebrate, no matter who wins, no matter which direction our nation seems to be going for a while here. We have great good news to celebrate because we have the good news, the state of the kingdom. And the king says, you are blessed. Not stressed, not messed. You are blessed. This is the great good news from our king himself. I know it doesn't always look that way. This world is twisted and it's turned upside down and we just get so caught up in stuff. But it's true. Blessed are you. Blessed are you. Jesus is saying, I hope that you feel blessed. I hope that you one day will be blessed. I wish that you had been blessed. He's just saying it as a fact. Blessed are you. Blessed are you. And he says it 8 times in these Beatitudes, and then he throws an extra one on the end. It's the king himself saying it's a plain fact. This is the lasting truth. This is how the universe is put together. This is how everything works. We call it the Beatitudes, which is just a fancy word for the blessing words. It's the king blessing all of his kingdom. It is Jesus himself blessing you. Great good news. So I've got this friend, Bill Schumacher, and when we were seminarians, he lived across Ellen and me. He and his wife were just across the hall. And this guy grew up, and now he is not at seminary with me. He's now a seminary professor. And I stumbled onto one of his sermons online, and I thought, Bill, this is really good, because what he did is he took these Beatitudes, and he kind of turned them upside down. And I thought, oh, that's upsetting. But what he mainly made me see is the way the enemy just twists and abuses the truth. There is an enemy kingdom, We're talking about the kingdom of God, but there is opposition. Fiercer than any political opposition. It's a kingdom that operates by very different principles. It operates by these very plausible sounding, these very attractive feeling, but really lies. The almighty, everlasting, blessed kingdom is being subverted by these counterclaims. I'm not going to read the Beatitudes. I threw them up on the screen. You've got them in your bulletin. But what I wanted to read to you today here is flip them over. First one. You're lucky if you're rich, because the one with the most stuff wins. You're blessed if you have no pain, no worries, right? Because then you are comfortable. You're smart if you're aggressive and self-promoting. You're going to get your share and then some. You're wise if you're willing to compromise with the wicked. That's the way this world works. Nobody likes it, but that's the way it is. Happy are the powerful. People won't take advantage of you. You're astute if you're cynical. You'll see through things. You'll see it as it really is. You're shrewd if you bring a gun to a knife fight, because you know what they'll call you? The winner. You're lucky if you can stay out of trouble. You'll get away with murder. Really. You've made it when people applaud you for what you say, when they want to friend you, when they want to be in your selfies. That's how they treat all the cool and important and significant, powerful people. These are the anti-Beatitudes. It's the enemy's agenda. It's widely accepted and practiced, these things that I was saying. They're the measure of success and power and happiness, and they're popular as now as they were back in Jesus' day. And sad to say, often the operating principles also of us, the church. We kind of smile when we turn these Beatitudes upside down, but you know, there's something that just sounds kind of right. Maybe we've even caught ourselves acting like, hey, that's kind of true. You want to make yourself comfortable. You want to be strong. You want to be popular. It sounds true. But it is not true, says the king. It's plausible, it's sensible, it sounds good, but it is all lies. It's complete foolishness. These are lies that kill people. So I called them on my screen. They're not Beatitudes, they are cursitudes. This is the way that hell operates. Scary stuff when you see how we fall for the world's wisdom. But I have come to describe to you the state of the kingdom. Good news. Because our king is entirely different from this world. Here is a king who loves to stoop down and serve. He's not clawing his way to the top. Here's a king who humbles himself instead of having everybody else enrich him. Here is a king who would rather give than grab. Yes, his ideas of wisdom, the world says it's foolishness. We're more clever than that. This molly-poly humbling of yourself. Silly. His idea of power, I mean, to this world it looks so weak, but he doesn't care. He has a sign of victory. He has a sign called a cross. Beautiful, beautiful Beatitudes. Still today, in this world that's so confused and befuddled and twisted, the king is busy turning the world upside down. Or actually, because this world already is so mixed up, I guess he's turning it right side up. The king says, here's what the universe really looks like. Here's your new map for the world. I know things get confused. You want to view things through the enemy's filters, and it's all flipped up. But listen, I'm turning it right side up. I'm lining you up with the actual grain of the universe. This is reality. The wicked shadows will fade away. Reality lasts. The truth be told, you are mine. You are blessed. For I bless you. I comfort you, says the king. I give everything to you. Blessed are you. Blessed are you. Blessed are you. These Beatitudes. Jesus says, these are the principles that I lived. This is the way that I gave myself. This is the way I died, says Jesus. And this is the way that I rise and live. Blessed are you, these beautiful Beatitudes. These are the principles that make plain my promise for you. This is the way God's kingdom works, because this is who I am. The Beatitudes seem so contradictory. Blessed when you grieve, when you're poor, when you're persecuted. Can I really live these 2,000-year-old words? Even when my life experience seems to be the opposite? Well, let's talk about the experience of life. I recently ran, well, a long story, but I was thinking about the Rosetta Stone. Not the software that teaches you to speak other languages, but it's actually named after a rock. A stone, I've got a picture up there, that they found in 1799. Napoleon's army in Egypt unearthed this thing. And what it is 3 kinds of writing on this rock. Greek ancient on the bottom, And above that, a similar script called Demotic, but it's a phonetic way of speaking Old Egyptian. And on top of that is the Egyptian hieroglyphs, like you can see at the pyramids, right? The 4,000, 5,000-year-old writing. So this stone, found more than 200 years ago, became to be very important. It was the code breaker. They knew how to speak and how to read ancient Greek. This Demotic thing in the middle, they had some inkling, but they weren't sure. But as they're comparing the two, they finally realized, oh, it's not 3 different stories, duh. It's the same thing told 3 times. So they could use the ancient Greek to figure out the Demotic. And from that, for the first time, it took them about 100 years to crack the code. But they finally were able to read the picture language of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. So kind of an interesting story to me. I just love history. But then I was curious, okay, so they finally deciphered what this whole thing means. And what does it say? So here's the point of the story. What it talks about is King Ptolemy is bragging about all the great stuff he did for his gods and goddesses. His fabulous sacrifices, the great offerings, the temple he built across Egypt, the way he cared for the priests and, remitted taxes so they didn't go to him, but they went to the priests. He's bragging about how good he was to the gods. And then about 2/3 of the way through, it says, and in return, these gods and goddesses have given to the king victory and power and life and strength and health and every beautiful thing of every kind whatsoever. I gave stuff to the gods, and now my life is fabulous. That's the way the world works. Really? So, is it true that King Ptolemy made the gods happy and everything was good? Well, it turns out, I tried to call old Egypt there, but Ptolemy was not available for comment. And all of his gods and goddesses, if they're anywhere, they're just names in a history book. None of them are reached for comment either. They are long dead and gone. And yet this is what the anti-beatitudes, the cursitudes, are always selling us. Pay up, and the gods will be good to you. And we think Jesus is crazy when he comes with these marvelous beatitudes. Blessed are you. This is the king who still lives. This is the king who still loves. This is the king who rules. The arch enemy will fall. He reigns. This is the king who blesses. This is the king who comforts. This is our king who still is working to turn upside down the foolishness of the world until it is right side up. And the kingdom and the glory are his forever. And the king does all of this stuff. Why? Why is he so good to us? Why does he love us? Is it Ptolemy's story? Well, we bought the favor of the God. He owes us now in return for all the fabulous sacrifices and services we made. Is that what Jesus wants of us? Completely the opposite. It's just sheer grace. He loves us before we even know who he is. It's amazing mercy. Picking us up when we can't pick ourselves up. It's this astounding gift, his steady will, his never-ending heart's desire to bless us. Comfort the mourning. Give what we need. Satisfy the deep hunger. Treat them with mercy. Show to them myself. That's what Jesus wants. To make us his sisters and brothers. To give to us. Because we can never buy it. To give to us the kingdom. To bless us in every way, every day, and forever. So, if you're looking at the Beatitudes and thinking, I better do this stuff or I'm in big trouble, you did not hear what he just said. This is what I'm doing for you. This is crazy great, says Jesus. It's the state of the kingdom. It's crazy enough that it's got to be true. It's crazy enough to save your life. It's crazy enough to make your life new. And yes, it is crazy enough even to change the way that you and I live in this upside-down world. Blessed Jesus, we so often get tricked by the lie. We see this world twisted and dying, and still we fall for it. Make us trust in your truth, to let go of ourselves and rejoice in the King. With all the kingdom, be blessed by you, the King. Make our hearts to thrive, and so be a blessing to those in need. We ask it in your name, Lord. Amen.